Good evening. I'd like to ask you a question. A couple weeks ago, as the new year began, were you one of the millions of people all over the world who made a New Year's resolution? That's one of the subjects we'll be touching upon tonight as we present again Cinekid Theater.
Okay, fade up, camera 3. Dissolve to camera 1. Ready to go to 2. Ready to zoom. Dissolve to 2. Okay, hit the zoom. Dissolve to 1. Ready to pull graphic? Ready. Pull it. Dissolve to 3. Go. And nice slow fade. Cut. Okay, let's see how that...
I'm pleased that you were able to join us for tonight's show. As usual, we have something that I think you'll find pretty interesting. We'll be joining our friends in Studio B again as we continue to show you behind-the-scenes glimpses of our sophisticated production, The Seven Keys. Before we do that, however, I'd like to continue with the subject of New Year's resolutions. We took a small group of our Cinekid performers and told them to imagine that they all had attended a party on New Year's Eve, at which time a number of them had formulated publicly the kinds of changes in their personality that they were going to make during this new year. 2 weeks have passed, and two separate groups of young people have met once again to evaluate just how successful they have been at keeping those resolutions. Here then, the first group of performers.
Wow, all this great food reminds me of that great New Year's party you had, Robin.
What about your New Year's resolution? Thought you were going to give up sweets. Wanted to lose 10
I
pounds.
lost 3.
And gain 7.
5. What about Lisa? She was going to stop biting her nails. It's just so hard. It tastes so good.
I knew you couldn't do it.
Baby. What about willpower?
If these guys got straight A's one day on my report card.
Oh, sure. Let's see it. Wow, he's right. Only 1 B. That's good, Scott.
Pretty impressive.
So far, he's the only one who kept his New Year's resolution.
Does anyone have any cigarettes?
Robin, I'm going to quit smoking.
Lisa. Lisa. Do you have any cigarettes?
No! Lisa was going to quit daydreaming.
Yeah.
Huh? Go back to daydreaming. Oh, I think that's my mom. I have to go.
Okay.
I better go.
Bye.
Oh, only 2 more.
See you next year.
Bye, Robert. Let's go party.
Bye. Lisa. I guess we should try harder next year on our reservations. Well, I'll show you to the door. I'll pick it.
Now remember, if you will, that these are improvisations. The scripts, the movements, the reaction, the entire situation is created by our young people. Let's watch the second group as they attempt to deal with the same subject. Here then, a different interpretation of New Year's resolutions.
Wasn't that party terrific?
The bridge party,
yes.
Marge really did a good job.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Oh, but the party of parties, Laura, you really outdid
yes,
yourself
Laura.
at that
Thank you.
New Year's party. We all had a good time.
Oh, yes, it was.
Is this the cake that you served us? Yes, it was. Oh, what's in it? Well, it's chocolate cake. Beth gave you the recipe. What's in it, Beth?
Oh, yes, it's just scratch with nuts and stuff. And marshmallows.
Oh, it's simply fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Delicious. I'm sure it's Very good.
Remember at the News party, Bob, wasn't he terrific at church?
Oh, he was. He was amazing.
That was a lot
He
of
was
fun.
so
He should go to Hollywood. Yeah, he's probably.
I heard that a Hollywood producer asked Bob to come and do a screenplay with him.
Oh my! Good luck
Yes.
to him.
Yes, I hope he
Yeah,
does really well.
that party was a lot of fun though.
But
what about the New Year's resolutions?
Oh, yes. Has everybody kept theirs?
I have.
Yes, of course.
My Bob gets to smoke for 2 weeks.
Oh, he's changed it.
Piece of cake in 2 weeks.
What about your resolution?
Mine? Oh, I've kept mine.
What was it, Dad?
Oh, I promised not to bite my fingernails.
We can see who doesn't have willpower here. That's it. What about you, Laura? You kept yours?
Well, I promised to feed the dog every day, and I have.
Oh, that's nice. Fantastic.
Oh, yes.
Did you guys hear something?
I hear scratching and
A whimpering or something? What's that? Dog? Oh, that's Ralph.
that's Ralph.
I thought it was a dead rat. Well, I don't think I fed him today.
Well, how long ago did you feed him?
Well, 5 months ago.
A month ago.
That's okay, Ralph.
It's okay, Laura. Yes.
Yeah, we can eat that
sure.
somewhere.
Okay, all right.
See who does not have willpower.
Yes. What about you, Bonnie?
Oh, I've kept my resolution.
What was it?
I haven't changed my socks in 2 weeks. And I have 50 more weeks to go.
Nice.
Oh, yes.
Yes, yes.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Well, at least I kept my resolution.
I've kept mine. What makes you think I haven't kept mine?
What was it?
Yours?
I gave up marshmallows.
You gave up marshmallows?
The fluffy, white, creamy marshmallows.
Yep.
And the ones that swirl around and
Around and sort of melt when they get hot.
Yes.
Oh, well, they don't count. They're not.
yes,
They're
they do.
marshmallows. I admit. But I had to have some. I mean, and it was the waitress's fault. She put it in the hot chocolate. Oh, I'm so ashamed.
That's what you call sheer willpower.
Yeah.
But, you know, New Year's resolutions, they're just kind of silly anyway.
Yes, but they're called New Year's resolutions, and they fall on New Year's Day.
But couldn't we rename them?
But they are traditions.
So why not
still.
change it?
All right.
not?
Well, what can we name them?
I don't know.
How about new week's resolution?
That's it.
That's it.
It's settled then.
Now I can change my socks.
Now, there's quite a difference between an improvisation and a scene that's had the benefit of costume and rehearsal and all kinds of technical modifications. We now proceed to Studio B, where our young people are continuing to produce this rather expansive drama, The Seven Keys. As you know, if you're a regular viewer of Cinekid Theater, Dr. Watson has been seriously wounded. It may be a mortal wound. We join Sherlock Holmes as he waits in the St. Regis Hospital for word of his friend's condition.
How long was it dead? About 3 hours.
Mr. Holmes, Socrates. We were wondering, how's Dr. Watson doing?
Not too well.
We realize that you might need some help. Till Dr. Watson feels a bit better. So, just let us know if you do. By the way, Socrates, the drawing's outside with your papers.
Are you sure there's nothing more I can do?
No.
Then I better get back to my paper route. It's a job to do, you know. Be back soon.
What brings you here, Lestrade?
I heard about Watson. Is he right?
He's not too well.
Sorry.
Mr. Holmes,
Springsteen?
my friends and I heard what happened. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I knew my aunt and sister would send their regrets also.
I don't believe you've met Inspector Lestrade.
Yes, we've met. Thank you. I really must be going. It's getting late.
I'll see you there. Maybe get a cab.
Conrad, you should be home.
Yes, but I was worried.
An interesting situation. And we will, in the weeks to come, continue with the Seven Keys. Now I'd like to present for your enjoyment a complete production, a motion picture of which we are justly proud. Some months ago, as a matter of fact, in the middle of June of the year 1980, we were approached by members of the Kiwanis Club of Old York Road to assist, to provide our specialized services at a Special Olympics program that they were coordinating for this area. What happened on that day in June was that quite a number of the members of Syndicate participated actively in the program and chronicled the events of the day. They designed a motion picture in sound and color, which is totally captivating. I would like to present for your enjoyment, by special arrangement with the Kiwanis Club of Old York Road, a Syndicate film. Today, there were no losers.
In his honor and to preserve his memory, this film is dedicated with pride.
time the first cars started arriving with kids on that warm Saturday in June, the air was filled with an excitement that would endure for the rest of the day. This would be no ordinary athletic competition, and not a usual Kiwanis undertaking. The culmination of months of planning, this would be a memorable occasion. We have tried to chronicle the work and the joy of developing a very special program for some very special kids. How one Kiwanis club rallied its community to support a day when there were no losers. For the Kiwanis Club of Old York Road, based in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania, some 18 miles north of Philadelphia, the idea of sponsoring a Special Olympics Day was first pursued during a regular weekly meeting. In an atmosphere of good fellowship, where projects are typically directed towards serving the community, the seeds were first planted by one of the members. Charlie Catalano, a member of the Kiwanis Club for 5 years, had seen a program dealing with Special Olympics, athletic competition geared for handicapped citizens. He had been moved by the experience.
Two major sources, I'm still waiting to hear. I got 10 more names today, and the government's going to contact me. I think we will have another.
With the encouragement of club president Bart Stauffer, Kiwanis members volunteered their talents to serve on a main planning committee and a number of subcommittees to consider the feasibility of such an undertaking and to make it happen in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania.
We're going to spend a lot of money here.
Most of these men had no real experience in coordinating such a project. Few had any direct knowledge of the special needs of the program itself, but they were dedicated to giving it a try.
The problem is now,
the planning committee met often, after weekly Kiwanis meetings, on weekends, on other evenings. Members who had pledged their services devoted hours to the project, selecting and securing a location, establishing a date, publicizing the event, formulating the actual contests, and widening the circle of planners and workers to include area businesses, local leaders, and members of the school key club. Once a target date was selected, then contacts had to be made to secure permission from the Upper Moreland School District to use their athletic field. A number of businesses were canvassed to provide funds or services. A list of the equipment required to physically run each event was established and then broken down into smaller units of supply. The Kiwanis Club hoped to secure the kind of support from other businesses that the Bank of Old York Road provided. And their hopes were not. Hatfield Meat Company and the Hatfield Packing Company contributed hot dogs. The 7-Up Company, Upper Dublin A&P, Catalano Wholesale Food Distributor, and Nicky D's Restaurants pledged food and soft drinks. And the Rook Tool Company volunteered equipment for several of the events. The Kiwanis Club also recognized the impact that young people have on each other. For that reason, the students who participated in the Key Club at the Upper Moreland Senior High School were called upon to serve actively in the planning and staging of the various athletic contests. In addition to gathering their own members, scheduling times, assigning specific areas of responsibility, and allowing input from these young people themselves, club sponsor Tim Hoffman went to great lengths to detail the particular character of the occasion. It was important, an integral part of the Special Olympics, that the Key Club members successfully relate to each participant. For the Upper Moreland students and for their teacher, this would be one of their most challenging projects. Finally, the day arrived. The sun was bright, the air was warm. And hours before the first event, members of the Kiwanis Club of Old York Road were hard at work. Preparations circled the table, sparkling with trophies and awards. But this would prove to be only part of the incentive for the participants. An elaborate public address system fashioned for this occasion was positioned. Materials for the individual contests were checked and rechecked, and the young volunteers, the eager registrars and huggers, were appraised of their roles and assigned to posts. Kiwanis wives prepared the refreshment stand, which they would operate for the whole day. For while the events would be charted by various announcers and races run measured distances, an open stand with delicious home-baked cookies and cakes, hot dogs and cold drinks would be provided free to everyone attending. All the advanced planning and preparation now began to pay off. In order to guarantee the success of this first Special Olympic Sports Fair, the various athletic competitions would have to occur in rapid succession. Each playing area would have to be ready for use following the previous event, and the essential elements of registration, checking health forms, and grouping dozens of special athletes. When all the gear was set, the volunteers manned their posts, and the first participants, with families and friends, began to arrive. Opening ceremonies officially commenced with the parade of athletes. In a procession comparable to those worldwide celebrations begun hundreds of years before, on this June morning in Willow Grove, the special competitors marched with dignity along the stadium track. Included in the celebrants were Sheila Dulchin and the Rockettes, official cheerleaders of this first annual sports fair and picnic. And the young athletes themselves displayed a visual camaraderie. Theirs was a spirit of friendship and unity. The excited crowd of onlookers, parents, brothers, sisters, friends, cheered the assembled group. As the Kiwanis members gathered the young people in front of the stands, everyone joined in singing the national anthem. It is fitting that any program begin with the Star-Spangled Banner, but on this particular occasion, the rendition had a unique significance. As one of the Key Club members stated later, it was the first time that song ever gave me goosebumps. And the words, "I pledge allegiance," were recited clear and strong. A brief but dramatically moving experience for young and old alike. Finally, Charlie Catalano announced the first event, the Frisbee contest. A few of the willing Kiwanis members provided a basic demonstration. From a set distance, you toss the Frisbee through the ring. Depending on the distance, the wind factor, and your skill in throwing the Frisbee, this can be a little more difficult than it looks. In any case, the Frisbee contest provided an active start. And like all the following events, this was success-oriented. Distances were altered to fit contestants. Kiwanis and Key Club members close at hand to encourage each participant, and ribbons for the winners. Judging from the smiles, it was more than a little successful. The Event 2 was the hula hoop competition. The object, of course, is to see who can keep the hoop spinning the longest. Now, if you have difficulty with physical coordination, this can be a rather challenging task. In fact, for some adults, spinning that hoop is not too easy. But it was a lot of fun, and in short order, the high school field was a sea of swirling colors. And again, watch the encouragement provided to the contestants not only by the red-shirted Kiwanis members, but from the high school Key Club members. The Rockettes helped to sustain a real team spirit with their cheers. And for the participants, even when you were not actively competing, it was a great deal to watch and enjoy. The third event was the softball throw. Here it was basically a matter of distance, how far you can lob the ball. For any child, it can be a disappointment if you can't make that ball move as far as you'd like. As you grow up, you keep improving. But for some youngsters, growing up isn't going to guarantee you're making the ball go further. Here, the kids were allowed to compete in an atmosphere where each attempt was greeted with encouragement. Scheduled event, the wheelchair race, might have been scratched were it not for the sportsmanship of Charlie Catalano. There was only one participant, but he challenged Charlie, and as our Kiwanis, it takes determination and muscle to propel all that canvas and metal. Event 5 was the 4x25 relay. 4 teams of relay runners, each racing a measured distance of 25 yards for a total of 100 yards. The participants limbered up for the big race. When the runners and Kiwanis huggers were in position, the race began. It was difficult for some youngsters waiting for the baton. But the exhilaration of crossing that finish line, that in itself was a thrill. The event was repeated to allow everyone a chance to compete. And then the final heat was run with the winners of the earlier contests. The sixth and final event was the running of the marathon, once around the stadium track. In spite of the rigors of the afternoon, virtually every contestant chose to participate. It was more than simply racing along the gravel path. It was an inspiring demonstration of true grit. Yes, I can. I can do it. Along the route and in the stands, the onlookers charted the contestants' courses. And as each contestant completed the run, Kiwanis and Key Club members were waiting to greet them. time to gather everyone together for the award ceremonies. The planning committee chose to group the contestants not in the stands, but as a unit surrounding the awards table. They were tired, some with traces of sunburn, and a few minor scrapes. It had been an exciting day and an active afternoon. Each and every participant in this first annual sports fair and picnic received a handsome medal to commemorate the occasion. Over and above any contest ribbons, which they wore proudly, so too would they wear a special Olympic medal. And the Kiwanis members made sure that each presentation was as personalized and sincere as possible. Presentation of the trophies themselves. Here, too, sufficient awards were on hand to acknowledge the efforts of all the participants. For the young people, the ribbons and trophies and medals were their rewards. For the Kiwanis Club of Old York Road, the Upper Moreland Senior High School Key Club, the Kiwanis wives, and the countless business and professional people, this moment, these smiles were a reward, too. There were ribbons and medals and trophies. There were races and contests. But today, there were no losers.
Need no experience to become a member of Syndicate. Just a willingness to work hard. Until next week, same time, same station.